Welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Huddle. We are super excited to bring episode 91 to you today. And we have a special guest today. And this is Kristen Brantley. And we're super excited to have you on, Kristen. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here.
We are going to be talking about these new communities. Kristen is actually working for the developers out in Painted Prairie and Windler and some of these amazing communities right around the airport. And there's this triangle I keep hearing about. What is this triangle?
Yes, it's called the Platinum Triangle. And the Platinum Triangle is from DIA out kind of east towards the airspace, and then it goes over to Anschutz Hospital. So it kind of makes a little triangle on the map. And in that triangle, we are projected to see about, in the next 5 years, about 20,000 new jobs coming into that whole area, which obviously is opportunity, right, for the housing market to grow. So a lot of builders are out there, and the communities, both Painted Prairie and Windler, are up and running and ready to house all of those new jobs, all those people in those new jobs.
That's incredible.
Yeah, very exciting.
20,000 jobs. That's a lot. And these aren't just like not all government jobs. I mean, we're talking like big companies that are bringing their plants, or it's not headquarters, but operations here in a lot of ways.
Yeah. So what we're seeing for the job forecast out there is, both Pepsi and Coca-Cola recently plan to build new bottling plants out there. So we'll see that United also has announced to expand its, all of its facilities and everything out there as well. And then Denver, DIA, and Amazon both are expanding out there. We saw Southwest just open Southwest University, which is kind of cool, right? So they've got the training and stuff out there. We also see Kroger. We'll see FedEx to grow some more. One of the big ones is PMI, which does the Zinn pouches. They have a huge plant that's building right by Windler. And then, that's just some of them. And so we are seeing quite a bit of industrial growth out there that's going to be bringing in all of these jobs.
Awesome. Yeah. That's great. And Kristen, you worked for Remax International for a while with headquarters.
Yeah.
And then you got to working with these developers. How did that kind of come about, and what do you like about the company?
Yeah, so you are correct. I worked for Remax headquarters for about 8 years. It was a fun job. I traveled a lot. When I left, I was supporting broker owners in Southern California, North Dakota, and South Dakota. So very similar. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Not similar at all. But, they're all really good people. And so it was a fun job. But after 8 years of traveling, it gets to be a lot. So I took a little break, and in February I connected with Cheryl Schutte, who works for both Painted Prairie and Windler. She's in charge of the marketing team, and so I joined the marketing team as the broker employer relationship manager.
Cool.
And it's been so much fun. My job is really networking, so I get to just go out and network and promote both communities. So I talk about Painted Prairie and Windler. I meet with agents, I meet with brokers. I try and get in front of as many people as possible, just to bring awareness to how amazing these communities are, to help them be able to have the option to put their buyers in these amazing communities.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about like the lifestyle. Why would somebody want to move their family, out there, or move themselves out there as an individual to live in Painted Prairie or Wildler?
Yeah, so I think, both communities, what they have in common is the community feel. They're both neo-traditional communities. Have you heard that term before?
No.
Neo-traditional. So what it is it's basically you're bringing all of the pieces of a normal community and amplifying it and mixing things in together. So your builders, we have 9 builders in Painted Prairie.
Wow.
And they are mixed throughout. So you don't see cookie cutter straights, right? You see different builds and different builders
Yeah.
on the same street.
Keeps it interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you'll have parks sprinkled throughout.
Nice.
And we also have, we'll have businesses. So we'll have hotels, we'll have restaurants, we'll have retail, we'll have a coffee shop. Painted Prairie is going to have in our town center, we actually are going to have a space for food trucks to come in and park and have like nights where the food trucks come in.
Nice.
So
cool.
the big thing is the community feel, bringing it together, including all of the parks and making it feel like you can go outside at night and be in the front yard with your neighbor and the kids are playing, but it's not your typical front yard.
Yeah.
We have a street in Painted Prairie that's called the Greenway, and it is so cool. You drive down that street, and on the left side, if you're heading east, on the left side, it's got like a couple parks, and then it's got some tables. It's got like there's ping pong tables that are already
nice.
put in there.
That's cool.
And so it makes it feel like the people want to come out and be together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of that like you got the American dream of owning your own home, right? And the European dream connected to it. That's like
Yeah.
being interconnected with your neighbors and
Exactly.
having more of a community feel. And
Yeah.
we talked about it, like I was kind of thinking about like Central Park, up in Northeast Denver, and how that feels, it's all interconnected as a community. So it's kind
Right.
of a similar feel to that. And that's what, is really the big driver of that, and just like the interesting cosmetics of the community.
Yes,
Right? How
yeah.
different it is. You've got Toll Brothers, you've got lots of
Yes.
different builders. Do you want to just list the builders that are out there just so we can
Yeah.
understand the product that's going
Yeah,
on?
so Painted Prairie, like I said, they have 9 builders. We have 9 builders currently. So we have so basically we have McStain, TriPoint, KB, Berkeley, Pulte, and then we have David Weekley. We have Remington, Toll Brothers, and I'm missing one. Who did I forget? Oh my goodness. Oh, New Home Company. That's
Okay.
the other one. Yeah.
Nice.
And then in Windler, we actually currently we have 5 of them. So we have Brightland, we have Century, we have KB, TriPoint, and New Home Company.
Okay.
Now Windler's newer. So Painted Prairie has been in development for about 5 years. So we're
Okay.
5 years into Painted Prairie, still developing. We probably have, I would guess, maybe another 5 years to go for
Okay.
full development.
Nice.
That community will have about 3,000 residents there. And then Windler, we just opened, so a few weeks ago, our very first builder to open their model home was New Home Company. And then we had KB Homes. And KB has a really exciting new product. It's called I think it's the Starlight Collection. And it's a ranch, and it's kind of a mid-century modern. So it feels like you're stepping into a home in like the 70s. So you walk in, and it's got the split level. So
Yeah.
you walk in, and then it splits down to the living room, the kitchen. So it's still very open concept.
Interesting.
But it feels like you're stepping back in time. It is so cool.
Huh.
It's very different, very
Vintage,
unique,
huh?
very vintage
Yeah.
feel to it. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
And I think they only they don't have a whole lot of lots for that. I think it's around 10 lots that they have.
Gotcha.
That will be that model, and those people are going to be. They'll be the lucky ones because it's a very cool home to live in. And then we have Brightland. They're having their grand opening this weekend. And then Century will open, and then we'll have New Home. We'll have TriPoint out there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's just our beginning, right? So we still have more builders that will come on later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like in relation to each other, like 10 minutes away from each other, would you say? Or even
Yeah, I mean, not even
less than
maybe
that?
5.
Okay.
So basically, both communities are off of 470. So if you're heading out to DIA on E470,
Yep.
you're going to get to, so basically it's 48th and 56th. That's going to be Windler. And Windler actually kind of straddles 470.
Yeah.
So we have one area that is on the west side of 470, and then another area that's kind of on the east side
On E470?
on E470.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then the next, so 56th and 64th, I think it is, that on the west side is going to be Windler.
Got it.
And so that one's going to be off of Piccadilly and across the street from Gaylord of the Rockies.
Cool.
So we'll actually have, even across from Gaylord of the Rockies, there'll be some hotels sites as well in Painted Prairie across from Gaylord. So it'll be like a whole little hotel area.
So these are great houses, but if you get tired of your house, you can just go stay at the Gaylord for a night.
Yes. And you know what's even cooler is Windler is going to have a campsite. So basically you could go camping in your community. If you don't want to pack everything up and head up the mountains and fight the traffic, we'll have like a little camp area in this 1881 park that'll be super cool.
My kids would love that.
Yeah.
Camping in your backyard.
Camp in your backyard.
No
exactly.
commute.
You forget something.
Cold, just go home.
I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going home. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Well, that's great. And obviously the Gaylord has all kinds of entertainment like at the Gaylord too. They do that big ice exhibit in the winter. They've got bowling. They've got like all kinds of things there.
And then to just be across the street and not have to, like, I live in Castle Rock, so to go to the Gaylord is, you know, it's a trek. Like, you've got to pack up, get the kids, and unless you're staying the night. So it is definitely, both communities are conveniently located.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be a lot. We're actually getting a King Soopers built out there.
Oh, wow.
So all these communities will be able to go to this new King Soopers. It's off of 56th, and I believe Piccadilly is what the street is, but it'll be right between the two communities.
And I saw you say there's going to be like a town center too, like around, is that in Painted Prairie where they have that?
So Painted Prairie is going to have a town center. That's where the food trucks, we'll have like a food truck station where the food trucks can come park. We'll have like the lights that you string up, and it'll look really cool. It'll be right next to some green space, so you'll be able to park and camp and, you know, just set out like a blanket or something and enjoy, you know, being out there. And we'll have events. You know, that's the other thing with both of these communities is the events. We do a lot of events. Like right now we're going into event season. So for the next few months, we'll have the open air markets, which is like the farmers market. Farmers market. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. So it'll be like a farmers market. We're also going to have, you know, music in the park, movie in the park. And some of this stuff is residents, but other people can come to these events as well. Cool. We also have a big event that's our Prairie Harvest Fest. That's in October. And a few weeks before that, we're actually hosting at Painted Prairie the Aurora Borealis Festival. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
So it's basically where they do the lighting where it looks like the Aurora Borealis. The lighting, you know how it does the green to the blue in the sky? You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah.
It's in Alaska is kind of where you can see that lighting.
Yeah.
So they kind of recreate that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they have 2 days of it. It's a big festival.
That's awesome.
And we're hosting it at our big park, which is High Prairie Park at Painted Prairie.
Sweet.
I think last year they had 10 to 12,000 between the 2 days. People come to the festival.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it's something every month then, between now and October.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's multiple things,
multiple things.
That's great.
We've added open houses, so we'll have open house weekends for all of our builders.
Okay.
And those are going to be really great. We have some agents that are hosting those open houses, but it just gives the opportunity for agents to bring out their buyers and hit all of the builders, right? Or hit the ones that have an open house, they're hosting, and even the buyers, you can send them out there as well. And so it's a good opportunity to really see what's available at Painted Prairie.
That's great.
Yeah.
So just kind of rapid fire proximity questions for you. So if I'm a person waking up in my house in Painted Prairie and I want to get to the airport, how long is my commute?
Your airport is going to be about 5 to 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes, I would say, once you're on the road.
Okay.
Not far.
That beats 45.
Right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How about if I'm trying to get to downtown for a job that I've got down there?
20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not that bad. I mean, that's for me in Highlands Ranch, that's the same.
It's
20, 25 minutes going up
it's
Santa
not
Fe
bad.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And how's like walkability? Like, you know, you said there's King Soopers out there. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be parks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there walking options to a grocery store or walking, you know?
I think eventually over time it'll get to that point where, because there's so much development happening right now, it's a lot of open space, right? So
Right.
once these communities are built out, there will be more walkability, but the goal is also to have stuff in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Have a coffee shop there, have the a brewery or a beer garden there in the community. All the trails in the communities will, Windler will have trails that'll connect. Painted Prairie will have trails that will connect. Windler will be a little bit different between the two that are straddling E470 because you've got that highway between. But even within the community themselves, all the trails will connect to each other.
Cool.
So now Windler will have a pool where Painted Prairie does not. Windler will have a Thrive Center, so it'll have resort style amenities where the pool will look and kind of feel like a resort pool, and then it'll have kind of like your clubhouse, right? But we'll have pickleball courts, we'll have tennis courts, basketball courts. Windler will have 2 dog parks. One for big dogs and one for smaller dogs.
Oh, cool.
Which I think
That's
is so
unique.
cool, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you
That's
have the
really cool.
ability to take your dog no matter what size and not have to worry about, if I have a small dog, all these big dogs, right? So
Yeah.
being able to kind of separate the sizes. We should have a third one in the 1881 park.
Yeah. In the words of Offspring from the 90s, you got to keep them separated.
You do.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Very cool. That sounds like a really fun community. And can you still see the mountains?
Yes. So
Okay.
that's, I would say, that's another thing that I definitely want people to know is, so High Prairie Park at Painted Prairie, it's huge. It's 22 acres and it has a lot of green space. It's got different park kind of sections for different ages. It's got basketball. It's got a climbing wall.
Nice.
It also has ski chairlifts. So it's like a chair, it's hanging, it's a ski lift that you would see up at the ski resorts, and it's at the highest point in the community, and you can see from Pikes Peak all the way out, all the way over. So you see
Wow.
all of the mountains.
But the chairlift is not in the air. It's just sitting
No,
there.
it's just kind of sitting.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I have a picture of the trail lifts here. I don't see it, but
that
it's
would be kind of a cool
really
feature in a
cool.
community if they had like an active chairlift.
I know,
Like, revolving around,
Rotating
like,
through.
from one side to the
Like
other on the
moving
chairlift
around,
as
yeah.
you watch the mountain views.
Yeah. So, and you can just sit there and look at the mountains and enjoy the weather. And, there's pocket parks throughout Painted Prairie as well. So
Cool.
there is a park walking distance for anyone in the neighborhood, basically.
Yeah.
And, your kids can be outside and you can be comfortable and feel good about them getting fresh air and in a safe environment, right?
That's awesome. Well, it's good that they're
yeah.
already rolling forward on a lot of the commercial development because
Yes.
there's people in Sterling Ranch that were promised 8 years ago that they were going to have all these things, and
Right.
they don't even have a elementary school or a grocery store.
Yes.
It's just brutal how slow that community has gone commercially.
And that's the thing with Windler is Windler will have a high school and a primary school right off of 48th, so across from the
cool.
community, basically. So we're getting 2 schools in that area as well.
Nice.
And those, this will all be kind of the same school that these kids will go to,
Cool.
which will be really nice.
That's
And,
awesome.
they'll be, I'm trying to think what else we have. There is, sorry, let me think. I wanted to talk about Windler's parks as well. Windler has a really cool story. So Windler, 1881 park is when the Windler family founded, they started their homestead.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the Windler name is because the Windler family was here. And
Tell them I'm sorry for calling it Wildler earlier.
Okay.
Podcast. Windler.
It's okay. It's
I don't want to
Windler.
offend them.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
All right,
it's
good.
Windler. So it's really cool because we've restored a lot of this stuff. So there's going to be Anna's house, which was Anna's house basically, and they're refurbishing and refixing it. They're fixing it to where it will be kind of like that one might be the beer garden or the coffee shop, right? And then
cool.
there's a big silo that they're actually going to do a really cool mural on as well. That's where you'll be able to camp. So it has that kind of homestead feel where
That's
it's
cool.
all that outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
And then
That's special when you can do that in a
Yeah.
brand new community, but make some things like kind of vintage and have character and
Exactly.
build that into it. That's neat.
yeah, it was really important to the developer to make sure that we kind of stuck true to the family and what they had built in that area. And then Discovery Park, where the pool and Thrive Center will all be, there's actually a high point there that also has views that
Yeah.
you'll be able to see the same thing, the whole entire, even out to DIA,
Wow.
right? So,
That's cool.
the other thing that he really focuses on, or the developers focus on, is moving into a community and it feeling like a community, right? So
Yeah.
parks are done. Like, they are working on the parks, making sure that when I move in, there's a park for my kids to go play at, right?
Another huge point of frustration with a lot of new construction buyers. It's
Yes.
like, yeah, you said it was going to be, and then
Right.
we got nothing, and we're paying these HOA dues already. What
Exactly.
are we paying for?
What are we paying? Yeah, exactly, right. So,
Yep, that's cool.
he also, they purchase kind of more, the trees are fuller. They're more mature.
Oh,
The trees
nice.
are more mature.
You don't have to wait 30 years from
Exactly, yeah,
bloom and
to
develop.
look
Yeah.
like a tree.
Yep.
So
Cool.
that's another thing that they really focus on. Windler will also have a lot of retail, restaurants, hotels, same type of stuff as well. So
That's
both
great.
communities will kind of have all those extra amenities
Mm-hmm.
that you don't normally see in a master planned community.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I know there's been a little bit of an exodus from like downtown Denver to get out to suburbs, right? And this is another suburb option for
Yeah.
people that would want to escape the city and get out that way. Like, why would someone move out there? I know we live in a very like payment sensitive market right now with
Yeah.
financials and the affordability crisis. Like, what are some incentives that builders are offering and reasons why people are, flocking out that way?
Yeah, that's such a great question, because affordability is such a huge topic, right, in the market right now. And Painted Prairie, it's 5 years along, so it's definitely has more options, move-in ready options, and a lot of our builders are offering lower rates. Some of them are starting at 1.99%. Now it's going to go up, right? We know how those generally work.
Yeah.
But some of them are locked in at 4.99 or even 5.99, which is still a lot less than what you're seeing. Some of them are also offering incentives, so cash to buy down the rate. Some of them are offering cash towards closing costs. So it really depends. But, I think the main point for both communities and the builders is they want to get the home sold, right? They want to make sure that they are finding our buyers their dream home, and how can they make that happen. I know Berkeley Homes, Berkeley is a local company, and so they're not national, and they have a design center in their model home. And most builders have, you have this package, or this package. You want A, B, or C.
Yeah.
Well, Berkeley is really good about saying, well, I want backsplash in A, but I really love everything else in B, except for the flooring. Can I pull that from C? They'll do it.
Yeah.
They will mix it.
That's cool.
So the builders are really great. They've been picked for a reason
Yeah.
to represent the community, and they're all very eager to make sure that they're providing the best options for their buyers.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the pricing, most of these homes in Painted Prairie, new builds are starting at the low 400s. I was looking at our inventory today, and there was one ready to build starting at 380, 390,
Wow.
starting.
Wow.
That's a single family home.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
it was a duplex,
Okay.
so
Cool.
it wasn't just the single one, but still to be able to get a family into a home starting that low
Yeah.
is huge.
That is.
And most of them start in the low 400s, but Windler, we'll see kind of the same thing. Those are starting in the low 400s. I'd say higher 400s, and then those go up from there. But still, the affordability in both of these communities, you're not seeing it with the resale, right?
Yeah.
Resale is really hard right now because of the pricing and because, just there's a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
And, what I would rather, me personally, I would rather build a brand new home, be able to pick the options and get into possibly a lower rate.
Yeah.
I think it is the time right now to get into these new communities to be able to also have that equity in the future.
Yeah.
Is it mainly single family, or do they have like condos and townhouse options as well?
Yeah, that is the other part of that kind of neo-traditional is single family. You have your traditional garage in the front yard. We also have alley loading, so you're single family, but your garage is on the back side. We have paired homes. We have the Toll Brothers. What they're building right now, starting in the low 400s, Toll Brothers, at that 1.99%, that's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. It is stunning. Like if you walk through the model, you're just like, this cannot be this price,
For the
right?
price. Wow.
Right. And they're the cityscape. So they're the cool 3-story
Yeah.
above ground,
Rooftop.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're right by the town center. So they're right across from where like all that activity is going to be. So there's a lot of different options. You can have paired homes, you can have row homes. And they're all kind of mixed together. So you're really hitting all types of buyers. It's a very diverse community in the buyers.
Yeah.
Along with the homes, it's not just your typical single family home. So a lot of uniqueness in both communities that separates us from other communities.
Yeah. What would you say is the highest price point in the neighborhood?
So for Windler, it's that new Wildflower with KB. That one's going to start around 800.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the 800s with lot premium upgrades, you may be right around
Yeah,
$1 million,
and
something like
lot
that.
premiums. I mean, we're seeing anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000.
Oh, wow. So not bad.
No,
Okay.
I mean, I remember when we bought our house 10 to 15 years ago. I mean, it was what, $30,000-$40,000 in lot premiums.
Yeah.
So to hear that is very exciting.
Yeah,
That
that's awesome.
you're not having to pay that. And then if we're gonna look at Painted Prairie, I mean, really 600s is where you're gonna hit kind of. And then, like you said, right, some of them might be adding options. You're gonna add some costs there as well. But to start at 600 with a brand new house again is really exciting, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, looking at the list of builders, I mean, I don't see a lot of the big boys, right? Some of the older ones like Oakwood, Richmond, Lennar, a lot of them aren't there. So it's kind of a fresh product for a lot of people, the stuff that they haven't seen, maybe styles they haven't seen. And like you mentioned about Berkeley, like it's cool they're local and they've got like more flexibility with options and there's something for everybody in there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I would say McStain. So McStain is townhomes. And what's really cool about those is they are really turnkey homes. So there's not a whole lot. You don't have a large yard. They're really great for anyone in that kind of aviation field.
Yeah.
Where, if you're a flight attendant, you're in and out.
It's
you're
perfect.
a pilot, you're in and out. You've got this beautiful home, not far from work, and really it's easy. You're in and you're out.
I've got a flight attendant client that I'm going to send this to after this
Oh,
episode.
yay.
I just thought of her. And she's been kind of thinking about it, toying around with the idea. So
yeah, and they have
appreciate
some that are ready to go right now. So depending on timelines, right? That's the other good thing about Painted Prairie is there's a lot of move-in ready options.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we are starting to see the resale amp up in Painted Prairie as well because it's 5 years. You're at that point where you're kind of ready to go on to something different, maybe.
Totally.
Have they started building like the King Supers and like kind of all that stuff, or
No, the King Supers hasn't gotten started yet. That is, I would guess 2026, 2027. Commercial's a little different these days. I feel like it's a little more challenging than residential in itself, right? It's already a different beast in itself to do commercial, but I think hopefully in the next few months we start to see some uptick
Yeah.
in some progress. I
For
think
sure.
I think it was
Usually they're
more-
pretty tight-lipped too about all the the leases that they've signed
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with specific
Yeah.
companies too.
Yeah, because you'll see people sign a lease and back out
Yeah.
too, which is, which is unfortunate. But I think it is what it is, right? That's just how it goes. So
Yep. Yeah.
so yeah,
That's great. Yeah, I made a video one time of a community, and I got some inside information from the sales rep. I won't say what community, and then I put it on a video, put it out there. These are all the people, like the businesses, the quick eat places that are moving in. It's so
Yeah.
exciting. And I got a call from their legal department like the next
no,
week.
can't say that.
So I learned my lesson quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's great. Well, this is such a good community. One thing we didn't mention was just like how many total units are going to go into the community. Like how many homes are actually going to be built here?
Yeah, so Painted Prairie will have about 3,000 at full build out. So it's a little boutique feel, right? That's kind of the idea behind Painted Prairie is we want it to have that boutique feeling as far as the community goes. Windler will have about 5,000.
Okay.
So they're not huge,
Yeah.
but it's a good size where you're going to have plenty of amenities. You'll have, the retail, the hotels, the businesses, all that other stuff, possibly even some type of school. It could be a daycare. It could be a church. It could be some sort of school. I don't know what you would call that even.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might want to get rid of that because I don't really know what I'm saying right there. But yeah, it will have it'll have all the different things both communities will.
Cool. Do you want to ask your question about the yards? now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I know you touched on there's different builds, but I mean, yard size, like, how are we looking with that?
Yeah, so your yards, depending on the builder you go with and where you are in the community, you could have your typical yard, front yard, backyard. You could also have side yards. So some of our builders do have kind of cute little side yards. I think KB has one and New Home Company both have kind of the side yard. And then you'll also have some that face oh my gosh, I just...
Like a courtyard.
Thank you.
You say? Yeah.
Some will have courtyards in front of them, so you'll walk out to a courtyard itself, and then if you have, the garage on the back, that could change your yard as well. So if it's the alley loading,
Yeah. So just a variety of yard sizes.
Yeah.
But if you're walking distance from a
I
park,
know.
kind
You
of
can just-
anywhere you live,
exactly.
then
Yeah.
there's a lot of options there too.
Yeah, it's definitely the parks. The parks, I envy the parks at both communities because there's a lot of thought that goes into them. I mean, even at High Prairie Park at Painted Prairie, the logs that they're using, you're not going to get burned and you're not going to have splinters. They make sure that the kids can safely play on these structures, these
Cool.
play structures. So it's very unique. It's very cute. One thing that I do want to make sure that I mention is I'm happy to do a tour. If someone wants to see the community and wants to, hear more about it, I do tours of Painted Prairie all the time. So
Nice.
I'd be happy to, sorry about that. So, I'd be happy to give a tour to anyone that would be interested.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Cool. Well, we may have some listeners take you up on that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm so like the prototypical person that would move there. I'm just thinking like there's the dead giveaways, like people that are in fields or they frequent the airport. Like that's just dead giveaway. If you're a
Yep.
business traveler,
Yeah.
pilot, flight attendant, like it makes so much sense to be right there and just saves the headache of traffic and commute and everything. And then I guess like if you're just a normal person living in like one of the other suburbs or like downtown Denver or DTC area, like why would they move out there?
Well, I think the big thing is the space, right? It's so open out there. It doesn't feel congested. There's not a lot of traffic. Depending on where you work, it could cut down your commute time where you're not having to go down I-25 and you're not sitting in traffic for 30 minutes. That's a benefit in itself. And the ability to get into something new as it's coming, as it's building up, right? You're
Yeah.
kind of
The
buying
start of the community.
You're the start of the
You're
community,
creating
right?
The community.
That equity, right? Because you're going to be in there,
Yeah.
not guaranteeing that you're going to have equity, right? Like I can't say that, you're getting to see it come to life, and you'll be kind of the first ones in, and there is a benefit to that. I think the parks and the community feel that both communities are going to have, that's huge. It's very different. The buyers are all different too. So all ages, all family situations.
Yeah.
We even see multifamilies going into a home. I don't know if you guys have seen that in your buyers looking for something like
Yeah,
that.
multi-generational. Yeah.
Yes,
Growing.
it's huge right now.
Definitely a growing trend.
And even families that, parents are retiring, but they still want to be close to their kids, right? So living in that same community, not just the same house. And so I think, that's the other really exciting thing about these communities is you have all types of buyers.
Yeah.
No matter what stage of life they're in, they see how amazing these communities are.
Right. That's great.
Yeah.
Are they pretty, like if a lot of our listeners are already working with a realtor, they may have a realtor that's their good friend. Are they pretty realtor friendly as far
They're
as,
very,
paying a buyer agent compensation, that sort of thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
they are. I think our builders, like I said earlier, they really want to get people into a home that they obviously believe in, right? They're builders who are trying to build dream homes for people, and so our builders definitely want to have the relationship with agents. My job in itself is to kind of bridge those relationships by bringing agents out to the community, introducing them to the builders and getting them in front of them. We have an app for both communities. And if you're an agent and you download the app, you want to register your clients to secure those co-ops, because there are co-ops out there. You just have to secure it through signing up through our, either the website or the app itself.
Right.
But yeah, they're great. They want people to come in. They want agents to bring their buyers in. So I think there's that stigma of,
Awesome.
builders don't want agents to come in. They just want the buyers to come in, and that's
Yeah.
that's not true.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and there's not really a discount or anything like that for people that show up without a realtor, basically. It seems
No,
like,
I mean, you want to really just kind of work with your agent and go out there. I think it's important though, if you do go out there and your agent is not with you, make sure that it is stated that you have an agent.
Yeah.
That is definitely
Communicate
something that we want to make sure that everybody is doing the right thing, and so the communication is key. If you have an agent you're working with, just let them know.
Cool.
They're still going to help you.
Yep.
They're still going to want to get you into a home. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and licensed agents, like we've seen so often, like that we can provide a lot of value through the home building process with just helping with lot selection. Because a lot of times buyers walk in and they're not thinking about like all the ins and outs of like which way is it facing,
Exactly, yeah.
how like in and out traffic, is this going to affect my resale value down the road, having a street behind me or not having a green space behind me or something like that, So there's like a lot of resale factors to consider, because you're buying a home, but you're also buying an investment, right?
Right.
So it's so key to think about that up front. And then we've also been through this process with builders so many times, so we know, how to, make sure that things are going properly, that the communication's happening. And I'm sure they're all great builders, so they're going to keep the flow of the work happening and those walkthroughs and everything. But knowing what to look for, making sure that there's no shortcuts or anything being taken, and coaching them through, should I get an inspection? Should I not? How's the warranty? How's, like all of those things we can help them, because we've been through it so many times. We've seen this happen.
Yeah.
So we've seen bad things. We've seen good things.
We learn from the bad things, hopefully, right? And
Absolutely.
then, the next time it comes up. But yeah, I think, an agent is so important for buyers to look at all options, right? Because resale it's kind of a go-to for everyone. And I think right now is a huge opportunity to look at new build.
Totally. And your agent can do a ton of legwork for you too,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You got 9 different builders in the community. I mean, there's a lot of homework that you need to do to figure out, like, okay, what are the options that could fit your criteria?
Right.
And what are all the incentives? And how can we also things are negotiable still, right? With
Yeah, I
builders,
mean, it's
especially
still,
now.
yeah.
So like you can try to get a little
You
better
can-
deal if
yep.
you ask for it. I mean, there's things, obviously not every builder is going to be flexible with their
Right.
pricing, and they're going to hold out and try to get their price because they know some of those
Right.
lots are absolutely going to sell. But I've seen, a lot of movement there that I haven't seen in the past from
Right.
builders. So it's
Yeah,
been nice to see
and,
that.
And I think, new home sales has been up drastically, right? In the
Yeah.
last year especially, and then recently in April, and May, we've seen the new sale really kind of getting in line, or the new home sales in line with the
Yeah.
resale, if not more.
That's
So,
awesome. Are most of these builders building specs, like full homes, meaning like
Yeah.
homes that are built out with all the options already pre-selected, or are a lot of dirt starts happening?
There's a lot that are, I guess those would be right, your move-in ready. So there are a lot of move-in readies for Painted Prairie. Windler, not as much, right? Because we're still just opening. Our models are barely opening up, so
Yeah.
the builders, but they are
Brand
building
new.
out homes.
And
So
they're selling the lots right now.
Yeah.
But are the lots that they're selling already pre-selected, or are they?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
So the builders already have their lots plotted out. So they you'll just kind of work with them on what you can do on each lot, basically.
Yeah.
So
Is each builder, like, do they have model homes for each home, or is it just kind of like floor plans that people can look at and decide,
yeah,
what's a good fit for them?
I would say Painted Prairie, most of them do have, there's a couple that don't have all of them built out. Same thing with Windler. Windler should have, no, Windler, it looks like they have all theirs kind of, I know New Home, KB, and Brightland at this point in time, they will have what's on our model map built out as a model home.
Cool.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
See what you're getting into.
Yeah. And like I said, if anybody has more questions or wants to see the community, at Painted Prairie, I've got golf carts and I just drive people around and introduce them and show them the parks and,
Yeah.
just really get to feel. And what's been really great is, it's nicer outside. So I'm driving people around and kids are outside playing, people are outside talking, the dogs are
Yeah.
walking the dogs and
Already.
at the park. And
Yeah.
so
That's
you
awesome.
see it in real life, what the community really is about.
That's great.
So.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Well, Kristen, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us. This has
Yeah.
been great to get to know this community better, and I'm excited. I'm excited to take some people through there and
Yeah.
get out and experience the community. Just seems like it's really well planned out. So
Yeah.
we appreciate you joining us today, and thanks listeners for listening in, and hopefully this has been valuable for you to learn about one of the premier new construction communities and larger new construction communities in the Denver metro area. And as always, if you need any real estate help, feel free to reach out to myself, Landon Smith, or the Dream Smith team. You can leave comments below, and we're excited to serve you in any real estate needs that you have going forward.